Hey guys, Level Cap here. Welcome to a World of Warships video. I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite ships in the game right now, at least one of my favorite ships that I've played so far. This is the Tier 9 Japanese destroyer Kitakaze. Now the Japanese destroyer line breaks up into two different branches. One branch that focuses a bit more on torpedoes and the other branch that focuses a bit more on guns. This is the gun branch, and to be honest, when I started playing Japanese destroyers, I was having an absolute blast just playing the torpedo line and being a sneaky beaky destroyer, launching torpedoes from full concealment and just taking out battleships and laughing and whatnot. Since then, my playstyle has changed up a bit, but the Kitakaze does not make me sacrifice some of that amazing Japanese torpedo gameplay that's available because it's got an incredibly devastating torpedo arsenal. Yes, you gotta wait quite a bit in between volleys. The cooldown on this is over 2 minutes, but you also have a torpedo reload booster, which can allow you to fire off 2 volleys of 6 torpedoes at a time for an entire barrage of 12 Japanese torpedoes. And obviously this is a Japanese ship, so it's shooting Japanese torpedoes, but Japanese torpedoes are some of the best in the game. Incredible range if you choose to go for the 12-kilometer variants of the torpedoes, incredibly high damage, a high chance of causing flooding, and aggressive speeds as well. I mean, there's really not much to not like about Japanese torpedoes. And if you can fire off 12 at a time, multiple times a game, I mean, that allows you to really just absolutely decimate some ships. And if you get a lucky bunch of hits on like a battleship, you can single strike it basically from full health. So usually at this tier, battleships are pretty darn wary of torpedoes, but as you find the right opportunities and stuff, you get better at trying to hit them when they're not paying attention. Now, there's few things in this game more satisfying than landing a full volley of torpedoes, but that's really not the main focus of this ship. The main focus are its guns. With 4 turrets and 8 guns total, generally speaking, 100mm cannons wouldn't be all that impressive, but Japanese 100mm cannons shooting HE can penetrate up to 25mm of armor, allowing them to penetrate most things in the game. And if you upgrade them further with an IFHE captain skill to increase that penetration on HE rounds, you can penetrate most battleship armor in the game. And that just makes them incredibly consistent damage dealers against just about any target you run into. Not to mention the reload speed on the guns is very impressive, and you're going to want to upgrade it with basic fire training and the main battery modification that you can get for this ship. Granted, I think that modification costs about 2 million credits to get, but once you spend all the credits and all the upgrade costs and grinding to get this ship fully kitted out, it is just going to deal so much damage. She's also a fast ship at 36 knots max speed, which can of course be improved using flags. And you also have an engine boost if you need to accelerate or decelerate quickly. It's a fast little ship. Her one biggest weakness is basically the turn radius. She's not that maneuverable, which makes torpedo dodging occasionally difficult. And if you're trying to sort of hug islands or make some tight turns and get out of danger real fast, it can be tricky. So you got to be a smart player. Sometimes you'll look at a channel that you want to go down and think, you know what, if I have to go 180 in that channel, I don't think I can make that turn radius. And so that might not be the best route for me to go down, because if I run into trouble, I could be absolutely screwed. Hopefully though, if you've made it up to tier 9 Japanese destroyers, then you're probably used to some of the less than maneuverable characteristics of these ships, and you just have to play them slightly less aggressively than you can with some of the other destroyers out there. Plus your guns, because they have fast travel time, they're accurate, they're pretty easy to use, you can make those very effective at further ranges. So if you're going up against something like a US destroyer that you know has an incredible damage output in close range, well, just get further away from them where your guns are going to best them. So if you start to figure out your engagement ranges where you're most effective, and because you're a destroyer, you can usually control that pretty well, then you're gonna get the best out of this ship. And this was one of those weird games where I ended up getting a Kraken with less than 90k damage, which granted, you know, over 80k I'm more than happy with in your average game, but the fact that I ended up getting 5 kills at under 90k is, you know, there's a bit of luck involved with that, but it was kind of fun getting a crack in there. I've had many games at over 120k damage with this ship, and simply getting like 2 kills sometimes, maybe even 0 kills sometimes. Sometimes I play this ship as just a pure damage dealer. Like once I catch a ship on fire or cause flooding, and I know a battleship can't repair, then sometimes I'll just switch over onto another battleship and start trying to catch them on fire, as opposed to just focusing in and trying to get that 1 kill the whole time. You can be a bit more effective as just a general damage dealer and harasser to enemy battleship fleets. I mean, you are really the ultimate battleship killer in this ship, because you can just pop smoke and just unload on them with the rain of fire. Now, this game here was pretty fun because the enemy fleet went for a far right flank. Our fleet went up there to try and stop them, or else we were going for our own flank, really. And myself and another destroyer were just alternating smokes, providing great cover, great fire, harassing them with torpedoes, and we ultimately turned their entire flank around. They started to run, but man, did we kill a bunch of them in the process, catch them on fire, just make them rue the day. It was a great round, and I mean, this right here, just landing shot after shot after shot, catching fires, watching that damage tick up in the upper right hand corner. You're just like, yeah, this is good, this is nice. They don't have anything they can do against us right now. Their destroyers are on the other side of the map right now, and we're just free to harass these battleships. And there are some cruisers that are going to come up here and try and push us back a little bit, and they do manage to like sort of put us on the retreat momentarily until we're able to pop some more smokes and continue the rain of fire. Now, as I go into retreat a little bit from these torpedoes, get away from them, turn back around, come back up, my friend destroyer puts down another cloud of smoke. And what I've got in front of me is a shooting gallery. I put down 1 volley of torps, use that torpedo reload booster that I was talking about earlier in the video, get the second volley ready, put out another one with a different target there. It's kind of a wider spread. I've sort of anticipated 2 different ship movements there. I like to break it up a little bit because with such long range on these Japanese torpedoes, you basically can even screw up sometimes, and another ship will come into the path and you'll get hits that you weren't even intending. Now, I did momentarily screw up there. I was out of the smoke. I thought I was still behind the line of sight, but a ship on the right side had line of sight on me when I fired off there. I managed to get back into the smoke without taking too much critical damage there, and it turns out that my torpedoes on the right side, which I wasn't even tracking properly, are going to get 3 direct hits on that battleship. In fact, a 4th of those torpedoes would have hit there, but the first 3 killed him outright. So we just did huge damage on the battleship trying to make it out of there. So he's down for the count, no longer putting out fire, no longer helping his team. And the remaining ships here are like, oh god, maybe we shouldn't have committed so much to this attack. We're absolutely getting decimated. My teammate's smoke just went down, and I was able to basically pop my smoke so we can get an even longer concealment, catch these ships on fire. This cruiser, he's done for, man. He's trying to get out. He's giving broadside to our ships out there. He's on fire. Nothing good is happening for him right now. There's absolutely no way he's going to escape this. He's basically just cannon fodder while the Jean Bart in the distance tries to make a break for it with his speed boost. So basically, when I started the Japanese destroyer line, I was having an absolute blast with torpedoes. I thought torpedoes was the end-all be-all of World of Warships because, let's be honest, it is extremely satisfying getting torpedo hits on enemy ships. But as I sort of progressed down both torpedo and gunboat line, I started to fall in love with the gunboats because they also had good torpedoes. And as I'm hunting down this Jean Bart here, he takes another full volley of torpedoes and is just done for. They're down to 1 destroyer. He has a slim chance to try and capture our home base, but he's not going to do it. This game is over. 2 kills, 144k damage. The Kitakaze is just an amazing ship. I absolutely love it. It fits my gameplay style, and that's like the craziest thing about World of Warships is you can be like, I love this ship, it's the best in the game, but somebody else can absolutely loathe it because the play styles are so different between different ships. But I think the Japanese destroyers really are sort of the sweet spot for me. I do enjoy some of the US destroyers as well. They're kind of fun, a little bit more brawler oriented. The Kid has been a lot of fun to play with, but it just doesn't put up the same damage numbers as I'm used to with the Japanese destroyers, and it is quite fun being one of the higher damage dealers on your team in such a tiny boat. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I highly recommend the Kitakaze if you are at all on that progression tree working towards it. It's got so many benefits going for it. It's an amazing ship. It's got that tier 9 matchmaking, which means you're not always being put up against tons of tier 10 ships. Sometimes you'll even be a top tier ship in a tier 8 and 7 game, and then it just absolutely ruins people's days. It's great. It's a good fun time. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying the World of Warships content. I've been mixing it up quite a bit on my stream lately, doing some World of Warships, some Battlefield, and a few other little games here and there. I'll see you guys next time. This is Level Cap signing off.